every year. The Ogun State Economic Investors Forum focuses on areas of development that are key to the state and which provide great opportunities for investment.
It is deliberate that we are zeroing on agriculture, environment, and transportation. The truth is this: if we're able to get those three right with where we are now in Ogun State, I think we'll be solution of all eyes and the most, maybe quote and unquote, rapidly growing state and developed state.
Whilst it's been an arduous task for many states to create a conducive environment, Ogun State is one of the more successful stories in ensuring and providing a great reception and environment for investment.
I remember in 2011 when we came in, Ogun State, in terms of ease of doing business in this country by World Bank report, we're rated number 35. And what are the reasons why they have that is because we're not meeting the right things that needs to be met by the potential and existing investors. So what we did is to ensure that we create that environment, we solve out those problems, and we're able to meet the World Bank again, right of reply, to ensure that most of the things we're talking about, we've been able to resolve it. And I'm happy to tell you that we're now one of the best 5 states in Nigeria.
Creating a great environment for investment has been a deliberate and sustained effort, which today is paying great dividend.
In the first term, there was a lot of investment in infrastructure, roads, bridges, and so on, and a lot of urban investment. I think that the emphasis this time around will be in unlocking the potential of the rural areas. So investing in our linkages between the rural economy and the urban economy. That in itself will stimulate the ability for the agricultural sector to achieve what we wanted to achieve.
Whilst creating partnerships is the main thrust of this economic summit, another important factor is to highlight areas of government priority.
If we want to truly create wealth for our people, they must be working, they must be employed. And agriculture will do that, particularly now with the value chain that agriculture offers. So for us, whatever you grow, we must process. Of course, after processing, you must package, you must market. It's a whole gamut of everybody action, everybody doing one thing or another. And before it gets finally, of course, to whoever is going to consume those, you must even transport them, a lot of things. So everybody has something doing.
The agricultural policy of the state encompasses many objectives which are diverse.
The most important thing, first and foremost, is to ensure that we actually have enough to consume locally. Food security, ensuring there's enough for us to eat. We're also looking at export. Naturally, exporting comes with earning revenue, so that's also on the cards. But currently, the ratio to what we actually bring in is abysmally low. So that's one area in which we're looking to develop significantly.
Agriculture is important to the state, and partners are sought to participate in developing this sector. And it's very easy.
You contact the ministry, express your intentions. If it's purely land you're looking for, there's certain steps you need to take, there's certain documentation that you need to supply us with. Thereafter, you must, of necessity, attend an interview with what we call the Agricultural Land Allocation Committee, which I chair, and also other members of that committee, the Attorney General, the Surveyor General, and the DG Lands. Once that interview is over, we make our recommendations, and then the governor signs off.
But there are other factors driving the state progress.
If, for example, we say we want to make Ogun State more attractive for businesses, then infrastructure will be important. If we can't fund all of the infrastructure from our internal resources, we must position ourselves in such a way that we can partner with private capital to achieve the objectives that we want to achieve.
And you know, infrastructure is so wide. The road infrastructure, transport, power, and all that. So all these under infrastructure. We've done quite well on roads. We've initiated a few programs on transportation, and at the same time we've done quite well on power. I think we've been able to affect the lives of the people of Ogun State positively in this last 4 or 5 years.
The state government has taken a decisive step and producing plans and policies that will deliver an environment in which business can thrive.
What an investor will want to see is to see that where they are bringing their money is conducive, to operate. And for you to achieve that, our core function, as it relates to keeping the environment clean as we manage our waste is very important. So our ministry is also responsible for this cleaner society that we all live in. And every investor, because that's what welcomes you anyway, talking about the furniture, that you have on these roads, the greenery, the flowers and the parks that welcomes you into the state are all basic functions that, we make sure that those things are there to welcome them. Issues of investment opportunities around waste is such that you need to collect them first. If you are not successful at that level, there's precisely nothing to work with. So it's very key for any investor that wants to come into Ogun State.
The plans to improve the transportation infrastructure in Ogun State are immense and aim to provide full coverage for cargo and public transport.
In the whole sense of transportation that will include our rail, our waterways, our airports, by the time we put all of those together, indeed we are going to have a smart city, a green city. Those are the kind of things we are looking at doing.
So the aspirations that we have in terms of transportation infrastructure, both in terms of linking rural roads to urban areas, and with rail and even airports, for example, are reflective of the kind of infrastructure that we want to put in to serve as a lever for the economy, the state economy, to sort of move to the next level.
With the private sector and mutually beneficial partnerships, the laudable goals of the government are achievable, especially in the areas of housing.
The quality of partnership is extremely important when it comes to the delivery of housing, whether it's the quality of the delivery or the speed of the delivery.
Our partnership with private sector typically is in the form of a developer-tenant, developer-subscriber type of relationship. So in Agbara, we have a lot of industries who want to set up their base in Ogun State, who want to expand their operations, and they would come to us to get land. Our job is to provide them land and services up to their boundary points, and from where they then develop.
So there are vast opportunities for housing. I mean, if you think about it, Ogun State is known as the industrial destination of choice. Therefore, you can imagine the numbers of potential applicants for whether it's housing or even land to build their own homes. So what we think we must do is to ensure that the criteria that we establish for our partners is robust, so that we are not excluding people who could potentially work with us.
To drive investment into the state is a strategic intent of the state government, and there are various policies that have been created by the government to ease investors into the state.
In the first soft landing is creating the one-stop shop, whereby now potential investors know that they are not orphan anymore. Somebody takes over and take ownership of their responsibilities, which is very key in and people are so scared of going to ministries. So now, somebody like they do in the banking industry, you have an account officer, so you have a relationship person that takes over your problems and make things seamless for you. So with that, we are happy to be part of it, and you know that Ogun State has created that environment for you.
The truth is that who is not here? All the multinationals, all the conglomerates, they are all here with us in Ogun State, and we are still counting, and we will continue to do that. So I'm using this opportunity to invite everybody. Ogun State, we're open for business.